The reason we do what we do is because circumstances dictate the system. Our land is not suitable for spring calving, so all year round milk is what suits best. We've stuck with that all over the years. Was the way it was when I started, and it's the way it is still, and it works well. The land is heavy. It's good grassland when it gets half a chance, but it's not suitable for early spring or even late autumn. I expect now possibly cows could be in at night next week if this weather keeps up, and they weren't out until the middle of May this year, so most years we would go out around the end of March, usually in at night sort of mid-October. But when you get something like this, it changes everything, and you just have to be ready to adapt. So I suppose the sheds always have to be ready to go at any time, but that's what we're working with anyway. The cows, we decided to go with Holstein a long time ago. Probably, I suppose, originally it started Shorthorn, and then my father would have bred Friesian, and there was a kind of an in-between period where we stayed with the British Friesian, but then we changed to Holstein about 30 years ago. Around the same time we went pedigree, and the reason we went pedigree was basically because of the information that you get. I was impressed. I just happened to see a sale catalogue by chance, and I was impressed with the amount of information that was on it. And I just went and bought a few pedigrees and started up from there. For about 10 years I bought a few every year, mostly locally, and just graded up from there, or bred up from there, and graded up what few we had left of our own. And that's where we are now. I expect we'll probably keep going like that for the foreseeable future anyway. The land block is limited, so that kind of put a limit on things as well. We did mess around a bit with crossbreeding during the 90s with Montbelliards and Normandys and MRIs and a few of those, but on balance they were really no better. They had advantages and disadvantages, so we just decided to go with the more milk per cow, trying to stabilise that, and more recently then I suppose there's less importance on volume and more importance on percentages, so we've tried to sort of build up that. One time we probably did get close to about 8,000 kilos or thereabouts, but it's a hard system to manage, so we decided to go backwards a bit and push up the components a bit more, which suits better now with the ABC system. I suppose the biggest problem type-wise would be feet, and it's just a matter of sort of sticking with it. It's very hard to breed for good feet based on the information that you get, because it's hard to compare what you see on the ground with what the information that's on a linear chart with feet. With everything else it works pretty well, but feet are difficult, so you just have to persevere and try and focus on the cows that don't get lain so often and breed mostly from them. Mastitis is probably the next biggest thing really, and that's just a matter of keeping the others fairly good. That's all you can do with that. And then fertility, of course, is probably another main reason that cows go not particularly that much with us, because we can carry them over, but even so it has an important effect on how long a cow stays around. So just keep focusing on those three things, I suppose, is the best way to make sure that cows stay around. I do like to have old cows. I always focused on old cows, and if you want an idea of what type you should be breeding for, I think always look at your oldest cows, because whatever they look like is what you should be going for. And that's what I've tried to do over the years. And if a cow has 10 lactations, there's no point in criticising her because her pins are a little high, or but she stood the test of time and she's proven she has what it takes. So you just kind of always watch them and see what they're like, and try and follow that in the heifers that you keep coming in. We've made loads of mistakes. We've had big cows and small cows and narrow cows, and generally the ones that stayed around have always been somewhere in the middle. It's always been like that, I think, and it probably always will. So the focus now is not to go too, I don't like small cows, but I don't want to go too big either, and just trying to keep a bit of width into them, particularly chest width. I avoid narrow chest like the plague, because I think a narrow chested heifer never stays around for long.